Good morning. Good morning. Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz. I'm your host today of, got to get this right, Doing Relationships Right. Oh, I did it. Yay. And I'm looking at you guys, and I have listeners and I have viewers because I'm doing something new. New things, new change, new year. Jessica's here too. And it's just so strange for me because I've got listeners only. I don't have viewers. So now I'm looking at my script and I'm looking at the screen and I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And good morning. It's Doing Relationships Right. It's no longer Doing Divorce Right, which it was last year, and now it's something new. So hi, everybody. Good morning and welcome. It's a new year, and this is my first guest I've ever had on my new podcast. It's Jessica Frew. Did I say that right?
Yep, you've got it right.
I've got it right. Okay, awesome. So let me read your bio because I did not memorize it. I'm going to read it, and then we'll talk. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay, so Jessica Frew is a mom, a wife, an ex-wife, and stepmom, and a bold action taker. She has a successful podcast called, I love this, Husband in Law, that she records with her husband, Matt, and her ex-husband, ready for this? Her ex-husband, Steve. Together, they are sharing their stories of love, marriage, coming out, you'll hear all this, divorce, remarriage, and co-parenting. I mean, it could be a better podcast to start with. A better topic for doing relationships right? I don't think so. Co-parenting to help others know they are not alone. Jessica is a firm believer that knowing and understanding what it is you really want in your life can boldly create a life you love, no matter what your circumstance is. I love it. Jessica, welcome. Hi, honey. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
So glad you're okay. So let's start at the very beginning, because when I saw your Instagram feed, I thought to myself, I have to talk to you. I have to reach out to you. Who is this woman? First of all, you're a rock star. I love your look. I love your vibe. Look at your background. Everything about you is awesome. How did you start?
Oh, well, thank you.
I just love you. What happened? How did it start? Tell me your story. Go. I'm not going to talk. You do.
Okay, so going back to the beginning, me and my first husband met in college, and it was really like we met the next day we went out, and we were together every day after that, like literally just always together, and really just enjoyed each other and brought the best out in each other. And so we got married pretty quickly. We met in February. We were married at the end of December. And just like people talk about the rough first year of marriage, we didn't experience that. Like we just really went together and had fun. And right about 6 months into our marriage, I stumbled across all of this pornography on our computer, which pornography creates its own issues. But the bigger issue was it was all gay porn. And I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, this is gay porn. Like I would have expected, regular porn, whatever that is.
Whatever that means, right.
Yes, but it was all gay porn. And so I confronted my husband. I said, hey, are you gay? Are you, like, what's the deal here? Are you bisexual? Yeah. What's going on?
Sure.
And he was like, no, I'm not gay. And I should put in here that we are LDS, so Mormon, very conservative religion.
So this shocked you. You were like, what in the actual, okay.
Yeah, so I was just kind of like, okay, well, it's fine if you're gay, but like, let's talk about this. And he's in complete denial because that's not something in our religion that he'd ever let himself think about. And so he's like, no, I'm not gay. So then about a year later, he's in counseling, and the therapist is like, okay, some of these things are an issue, but the real issue is you're gay. Like you were gay.
Like, wait, hold on.
And so it's at that point about, it's like a couple years into our marriage, he comes to terms with the fact he's gay. Okay. And he's like, I don't want to leave. We're happy. I didn't want to leave. I was happy. We had a great relationship. We had so much fun together. And like people always ask, well, what was the sex like? Did you guys have sex? And I'm like, we had a great sexual relationship too, because we had such a great relationship. There was this emotional connection that allowed us to have a great sex life.
And that's a lot of people.
We continued forward.
A lot of people have that.
Yeah.
I think that if your intimacy is there, then it doesn't matter, right? I mean, you have great sex. You have great sex. It is
there are so many different
layers.
So many different ways to connect and create intimacy. It's not just physical, whatever. And so, so we continued forward. We had a daughter, and we then a couple of years after we had her, we had been living in Colorado Springs. We moved to Oklahoma. We'd had a great support system in Colorado Springs. Steve was really coming to terms with the fact that he could tell people he was gay, getting a little more comfortable. His mom at this point knew he was gay, and like a couple of our close friends. But we moved. and it like totally flipped
Right,
everything
right.
upside down. And he ended up having
Okay.
an affair while I
And you
was
were still
gone for a
married. You
weekend.
stayed married.
We
Okay.
were still married. We are married at this point. He has an affair. I came home from this weekend and it was like, I knew as
Yeah.
soon as I saw him that something had drastically changed. And it was sickening. Like it
Because
just
did you have,
hurt. And he
I'm sorry,
told me
did you
about it.
have, do you have,
Huh?
did you have like an agreement? Like you were okay, everything was fine. He was going to be gay. He was going to live his life. You knew, and it,
No, so we stayed
oh, okay.
very
Oh, okay.
monogamous.
Okay.
Like we were not, he was not
No.
going
Oh,
to,
I
like this
see.
was
Okay. So you were,
shocking.
this was not okay. Okay.
And but also not shocking because I
Eventually.
knew I had stayed in a marriage that I was with a guy who was gay, that he might
Sure,
want to
sure, sure,
explore
sure.
this side of
Of
himself
course.
at some point. And but I knew I wasn't okay with
No.
having an open marriage.
Okay.
Like that
Okay.
wasn't a possibility for me. That wasn't, it
Sure.
just didn't feel right for me. And he wasn't okay with putting me in that
Okay.
situation either. Like he didn't
Right.
feel good about that. So we tried to make it work. I mean, he told me a week later he'd had the affair. We tried really hard to make it work. It
I
was
can
a
imagine. Yeah.
mess. So we got divorced. He left our church, he left me and our daughter, however
Yeah.
you want to look at that. I never viewed it really as that way, except,
Sure.
he's moving on. He's coming to love
Oh
himself for
God,
who he
you're a
is and
good
accept this
person.
side of
You're
him,
such a
which
strong girl. Yeah.
it was a
Yes.
lot of work, but we got there. And in this too, we really talked a lot about how we wanted our divorce to look, because there's all these emotions in the middle of getting divorced. And for me, it was, what do I really want going forward? Like, yes, this hurts and it sucks and it's not what I wanted, but what do I want
Right.
now? What is most important now? And what can I do to get me there? And I remember just talking to Steve and being like, I don't want our daughter to feel uncomfortable at her marriage or her graduation or at her birthdays or at her holidays because her parents can't be
Right.
in the same
Right.
room. Like that is so selfish of us. And there are situations that you can't be,
Right.
like, I
Sure.
totally understand that. But there's so many situations where we can lay that aside. And so I really had to get to know myself and what I wanted in this reality of going forward as being divorced, and how I wanted that to look for me and how I hoped that would look for Steve. And we talked a lot about it and really came to this plan that we were going to try our hardest to stay friends, to let go of the pain, the hurt, the anger, anything that we may feel, to communicate and move forward. And by some miracle, we've been able to do that.
You did it because
And
you did it like do divorce right. You did it, and you made a
yes, we
choice, a conscious
we
effort. You
made the
did it. Good
choice.
for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
And have really worked hard for that.
Yeah.
And
It's hard
so
work.
it is hard work. And you have to be
Trust me,
willing
I
to have
know.
hard conversations, and you have
Yes.
to be willing to get uncomfortable and see, well, maybe this doesn't feel like a situation I want to be in, but
Right.
I'm going to try it and see how it goes, because maybe I will be okay with it. And then so Steve and I actually dated again a while later. So I had moved back to Boise because we had a house there, and he was living in Oklahoma. He had moved in with the man he had the affair with. Like, things progressed
And how did
quickly
that
with
go?
that. And then well, he kept telling me, listen, I'm not happy. I don't know that I should have left you. I don't know that I made the right
Oh,
decision. I said, well, if you want to try again, you need to do it now, because I'm dating again and falling in love with other people. And if we're going to try this, we need to do it. So he
now it
moved
has been.
back
Yeah.
and we dated again for like 6 months. That was a complete mess, but such a great thing for us to do, because we both knew, like, we gave it our all. We tried, we're done. We don't need any any
Yeah.
follow-up, no
You did
closure.
it.
We're
Sure.
good. So
It's close.
and it was funny because during that time he had become friends with a guy, with my now husband. They
Oh
had
my
met through a
goodness.
mutual friend and started mountain biking together. So they didn't know each other well, but they knew each other and
Okay.
respected each other. And when Steve and I ended things, I said, okay, I'm going to marry Matt Frew. Like, I'm going to marry him. And Steve's like, you've met him like once. And I said, yeah, but I don't know what it is. I really feel
You felt
strongly I'm going to
something.
marry this man.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I used to
I
make
love
fun
this
of
because
people for that.
I love this, but the best is usually have listeners, right? So I'm in video now, and
Yeah.
you can see my face, but my listeners can't.
Yeah.
But my mouth is on the floor. I'm so excited. This video thing is awesome, Jessica. Okay, keep going. I love it. I love it.
It was just so funny. And Steve's like, well, you can't marry my friend. And I said, you divorce me. I can do whatever I want to do.
Oh, you can do
He's
it.
like, that's
It's open.
legit.
Okay.
And
You're
he
like,
was
I got it.
totally
Yeah.
teasing me. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still nuts to me that I actually did marry Matt. And the nice thing, it's so weird, but we've been married now for like 7 years. He has
Oh my
2
God.
kids. He has a very high conflict ex-wife. And that has all been nuts. I always say my divorce was much easier than my marriage. Like
It's so
getting
hard, isn't it?
remarried has been
Send them to me. I'll take it. Yeah.
the
Oh,
the hardest thing I've ever been
yeah.
through. And
Awful.
yeah, so that's where we are. So actually in the last 2 months, my ex-husband has started working with my husband. So my husband owns his own business, and now Steve is working with him. So he just brought Steve on in the last couple months to work with him. So that's been a big shift that I like was scary in trying, like, okay, this changes our relationship now.
Sure.
And we have to make sure that we all communicate even more about how things are going, because we don't want to ruin this relationship.
No. The SoberLink system is designed to make parenting time safer with real-time remote alcohol monitoring. SoberLink uniquely combines a breathalyzer with wireless connectivity and is the only system that includes facial recognition, tamper detection, and advanced reporting. Parents can submit a test anytime, anywhere, thanks to SoberLink's wireless technology, which delivers test results by text message or email to the concerned parties. Simplify co-parenting arrangements by using the system that provides transparency and proof of sobriety throughout the day. Flexible schedules combined with real-time delivery of results make SoberLink the experts in remote alcohol monitoring technology. It's my pleasure to offer my listeners $50 off your device. Just email info@soberlink.com and mention Doing Divorce Right. But hurry, it's for a limited time only. Soberlink.com.
Anyways, that's the backstory of my life up to this point. It's been
also have a
crazy
podcast.
and yes, wonderful. Yeah, so we started a podcast about a year and a half ago, where we share all of these stories and experiences in depth, and go into all sorts of things of how it was for Steve coming out, and how leaving our church and religion was for him, and how we've kept a relationship, because Matt and I are still active in our religion, and most people don't associate that with still being accepting of the LGBTQ community.
Right.
And I just have like, that makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Oh.
So there's this voice inside me that wants to speak up for that as well, and create this understanding of the point that we're supposed to love people. That's all it comes down to for me, is we need to love people. But yeah, our podcast really goes in depth into all of our stories and what we've been through, just so that people can feel like they're not alone, because we know people have been through similar things, but you don't always hear about it. And we're willing to share, and we have a relationship where we can all sit down and do this together. And so we're putting it out there. It's been really a wonderful healing experience.
And tell us the name
for
of
all
your
of
podcast, everybody. For everybody.
It's called Husband-in-Law.
Husband-in-Law. It's a great podcast. It is a great podcast.
And that's what Steve and Matt refer to each other as, is husband-in-laws. They're that close that's
and
just
so have you
what
been
it
getting
is.
positive feedback from your community? Okay, good.
Oh, yes. Like, just the outpouring from that is amazing. The people who feel like they're being seen and heard. And it's funny because it's not necessarily people that are in our same situation, but it is just, similar experiences, and feeling like I've started grasping onto this whole idea that we live in this I should mindset. I should believe this way. I should want this. I should be okay with where I'm at. I shouldn't want more. I should be content. I should be happy. And we cling on to this instead of realizing that it's okay to have those inner desires of what it is you really want, and to show up differently to life than you've been told you need to, or you've been shown how you should show up to life. Like, it's okay. And so our whole thing is, you take bold action to be the person that you want to be. Show up the way you want to show up. And the first step in that is knowing yourself and coming to understand yourself.
I have clients, dating clients that come to me to, for online dating and coaching. And they say, well, I should have 2 kids by now. Or I should be married by 32,
Yeah.
or I should have a baby. I'm like, no, no, you're
Yep.
so right. They say that all the time. Don't you feel that way? Like I get that all the time. I
Yeah.
really should be married by, and I
Yeah.
should be in my career, or I should be here. I'm like, no, whoa, you're so right. That's so interesting to me that that's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to step back from those I shoulds and realize what actually feels
Yeah.
right to you and accept where you are. Like life just doesn't go as
Oh,
planned.
you're so
It's
right.
never going to go as planned. And so you pivot and figure out how to make it work for you instead of getting stuck in that I
Mm.
should be here. I should do this. I should,
Yeah.
like you said, I should have those two
Right.
kids. Like this, none of this was my plan.
Right. Mine either. I'm
Yeah,
with you. I mean,
I
I had
didn't.
no, you don't
Yeah,
plan on
yeah.
getting
It's
divorced. No one ever
just
plans that. You go to the altar like, hey, let's be divorced
no.
in Friday. No. Right. So you have this be
Yeah.
bold boot camp. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I have just started a Be Bold Bootcamp. It actually started this
Okay.
month. And what we are doing is each month we are focusing on a different topic of helping you live a
Oh, I
bold
love
life and start getting rid of those I shoulds, leaving those at the door and focusing on what you have and where you're at now so that you can move forward. In January, we were talking specifically about getting to know yourself, because I firmly believe that most of us know what we used to
it.
want or what we think we want or whatever, but we haven't grown in understanding who we are right now in this day, and especially just coming out of 2020 where we've lost so much control of our lives and what life should look like. And now we need to know who we are in this moment, because I think we're in this for another, good long while. So we might as well get comfortable in understanding ourselves now. So we start there,
Absolutely.
and it's a topic that I love. And so, yeah, Be Bold Bootcamp. It's like a monthly subscription. Each month we have a different topic. You can sign up for 1 month or however many months you want. And it's an affordable way for people to get this help and to get the coaching that we provide. Steve and Matt are also involved in it, although not as much. They have their own businesses and stuff, obviously,
Yeah.
that they're dealing with. And so, yeah, they come in when they can, but mostly it's coaching from me and working towards living that bold life that you want to live.
Yeah. It's hard. I feel like, especially now, people are starting, I feel like now's the time to join your group, because I feel like I should be joining too. Things are changing. People are looking to change. I was the same way. I'm like, I've got to do something. 2020, really, it kicked my ass. It did. I needed something new. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I needed to pivot. I needed to get out of that
Yes,
rut.
and that's what we do, right? We pivot and we keep going and we find what works for us now and what's bringing us joy now. And that doesn't matter if it's what you think you should be doing or where you think you should be going. You go where you feel called and what works for you, not for anybody else, not because that's how you've seen it done, but what works for you. And that's really what we've done with our life.
And so I have a question for you. So I see you on social media, and
Yes.
obviously social media is not always what it looks like, but you are a super positive person. I feel like you're, and
I am.
follow you. You are so. Are you always this? I mean, you are bold. You're fabulous. Your vibe is amazing. Are you always like this? Are you always like? Because I mean, I
nobody's
really do follow
always
you,
100%.
I know, but
nobody's always 100%.
You're probably 95% all the time. I feel like.
I would honestly, yes, I would say that. Like probably 85 to 90% of the time, I am positive. I am good at seeing the good in the situation. It is my superpower. And that is something that I believe I can share with people. And I try to be honest, like, yes, there are, like, the other night I posted and I said, you know what? Tonight I am off my game. I'm checking out of social for a couple of days. Nothing's wrong, like nothing's horrible. It's just you got to embrace that too. You have to embrace all of the feelings to really embrace the joy. Like if you don't let yourself feel those things, you're never going to get past them. And so I really encourage people to lean into those, but then to work on getting past those. And yes, I am a very positive person. I am very happy and content. And like I said, it's my superpower. And I truly believe that superpowers are given to us so that we can share them, right? Like what good is it to have something that you're good at if you're not sharing it with other people? And then you get more joy from it too. So
well, I knew I had to have you. I'm like, I have to have Jessica Frew as my friend. I'm like, this is it. 2021 is going to come out with Jessica, and this is it. I couldn't have a more perfect for doing relationships right. I thought to myself, okay, she's doing relationships right. She's doing divorce right. She's got her stuff together. You're amazing. I love you. So where can people find you? The easiest way to find you.
Okay, so the easiest place to find us. is
Yeah.
Instagram. That is where I am the most active. So our Instagram handle is @husband_or @husband-in-law. You'll find us there.
Yep.
Type it in, you'll see
That's
us.
where I found you.
And then the next best place is my Facebook group, which is for bold action takers. It's free, it's private, but just go type in bold action takers if you're on Facebook, and you can find us. Those are the two best places. And then of course the podcast, where you can hear all of the dirt about everything and how we've really come to make this work. Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what? I'm not on your Facebook group. I have to find it, but we'll put everything in the show notes. Kevin, let's put everything. My friend
Perfect.
Kevin, my new guy. We're gonna put everything in the show notes. Everyone can find you there. I love your story. And can we do a little something before you go? I like to do a speed round.
Of
Not to
course.
put you on the spot, but if you can answer a couple questions, so my
That's
guests
great.
can really get to know you, my guests, my viewers, my listeners. I don't know what they are anymore. Okay, what's your favorite book right now? What are you reading? Are you reading anything good? You want to read?
So the first one that comes to mind that I just read recently, actually there's two, are Untamed by
Loved
Glennon
it.
Doyle,
Of
and then
course.
also Marie Forleo.
Oh,
Forlier.
you read it. Yeah,
Which is it? Now I can't think, but
I can't.
Everything is Figure Outable.
Oh,
Such
I
a great
read it.
book.
I loved it.
Everything is Figure Outable.
Oh, what's her? Yeah, you
Yes,
got it right. Yeah, it was great.
love that.
I loved
Yeah,
it too.
so
Okay.
good.
Okay, now what are you binge watching? Anything on TV? Do you have time for TV? Do you watch a lot? I know.
I don't watch a ton of TV. I watch things like in the background while I'm getting other things done when I just need to not think.
Yes.
So I watch things on repeat. Right now it's The Office, just because I need
Okay, I
something
loved it. I
lighthearted
loved it,
and
yeah.
easy. And then British Baking Show. Like I watch
Oh.
that all the time with my daughter.
Oh my God.
And it makes me so happy. And we watch it while we cook and stuff.
Oh,
And
you
it's
cook.
super
I
fun.
don't even know how to use my stove.
Those are the two right now.
Okay. And then what was I going to say? Oh, celebrity crush. Do you have a crush on any celebrities? Any of your favorite celebrities right now?
Oh, I don't think I
I'm not
do.
really.
I'm not a big celebrity
You don't
person
watch
because
the-
I just
okay.
don't watch.
I don't know. I'm
don't
not
watch
really lately.
a lot of
I'm a big,
shows.
George Clooney's always my favorite, but he's getting old. He's old now.
You
can't go
can't,
wrong.
but
Can't go wrong.
still, you can't.
Okay, so if you could leave my listeners with one little nugget of knowledge, one little piece of advice, does that put you on the spot? I'll give you a second. Something that you could just.
No, I have something that comes to mind. And this is what I always go to if there's one thing that I could instill in people and want to share, is that you are worth it. And I know that's like the thing right now, but you really are. Like, you are worth putting the time into yourself to know what it is you want, to show up to life in a way that you want to. Like, you are worth it in this moment to do it. Like, go do it. Do what is speaking to you and follow it. Like, that's always what I come back to, is so many of us don't recognize our self-worth. So many of us don't feel that we are worth the work, and you are. Like, you are worth it. And
I love that.
I just want people to believe that and feel it in them, that you are worth it.
Oh, that was a good one, Jessica. Thank you. That was a great one. I love you. I loved having you. This has been fabulous. Thank you for being my very first guest.
Well, thanks.
I almost said doing divorce right. I'm doing relationships right, y'all. Doing relationships right. Thank you. Thank you. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season, and a happy new year, and welcome back 2021. Oh gosh, let's hope it's a better year, everybody. Let's hope it's better. And you all know
it's going to be awesome.
Yes. And everybody, you know where you can find me per usual, jenniferhurwitz.com, and you know where to get my books. You can find them there. And I think that's it. And we're going to say it again this year. I say it every year. You know where to find me, and peace, love. And as always, very much truth. Thanks, guys. Have a great day and be good. Bye.